Hello everyone, this is Paula, and today we're going to work on some of our traveler's notebook stuff. We'll do that for a few days to complete the month of June, and then a while after that we'll get the next journal to work on. So Lynette on her channel, which is Cheaply Chic, she will, on YouTube, she will have a video about taking this bright yellow book and our bag and making it into a small journal that can be used inside your other journal, okay? If you wish, or you can use it for something different. So we're starting out with a bag, just like this. And, no, not much to it. I took several different papers and a doily, and actually 2 doilies, and put together, let's see, just random pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just used like 8 papers. So you can use just random papers. You cut it to at least a 1/4 inch smaller. Like this is going to be the score line right there. Not the front part, but this back part is where I'm putting the score line, okay? And so you can use the amount of paper that you think will work in your little mini journal, okay? So what we're going to do is we need to bind this first. So I'm going to get my binding tools, and we will do that now. Mind you, I'm sorry, talking with my back to you. Mind you, we're going to stitch it in. It's going to be, oh, that's the wrong box behind me. Do you ever do that? Grab the wrong box? Okay, here we go. Get your act together. All right. I have 3 of these skinny boxes from Hobby Lobby. And this one, I keep all my stuff to bind books in. I know, it's a little crazy, isn't it? But I'm just going to take this out right here. I'm not going to worry with the other things because this is going to be very simple. This will not be like binding a big book, okay? This is going to be just a simple, pull some string through. You don't have to have the strongest string in the world. You'll need an awl while you're doing this, and some string. Now I'm just using crochet thread, which is really probably too, you might not want to put it this thin. You decide. And how I always do it is I lay my papers here and I measure how much I need. 3 lengths of the book, and then I add just a tiny bit more. That way, if I want to add like beads or something at the end of the strings, and I'm always that person that is always concerned that I'm never going to have enough. I know they say 3 lengths of the book, but I always think it's not going to be enough. And I don't want to go through the whole process and not have it like it needs to be, right? So when you're doing something super easy like this, you don't have to have a pattern. You can just punch a hole in the middle, keep this all in together. Now, normally I'd put binding clips or something like that, but in this situation, I'm just going to show you that you can just use regular paper clips or these little giant paper clips, okay? So there you go. Now your paper's not going to move. And we know that this is where we want to bind our book. Now, allow the same amount above and below the paper. Okay. Now, because this is so thin, I'm just going to go in the center. I'm going to eyeball it and bend this forward. See how easy that was? Just bend it forward, and then you want to make sure you stay in that same spot. You don't want to move around. You could actually would benefit this, especially for beginners, hooking your pages to the actual book. Okay, now, and the reason I say this is you want, if your book portion moves, you want to know that it's, I just tore my doily. I'll have to get another one. You want to know this is going to stay there, is what I'm saying here. Let me get a doily. Let's see if I have another white one in my drawer. I do. So, and I'm just going to fold it in half here, so it's kind of equal on each side. Now, I had already poked a hole in my doily, so I'm just going to, poke it in the center and put it into this hole here and make sure we are in the right spot. Yes. Okay. Now, you're going to continue to do this. You're just going to come down half an inch is usually what I do. About right here. I'm including my doily in this because it's the length that it needs to be to do that. And then over here, I'm going to do the same thing. So, you know, every type of, how do I put it? Every type of binding that you, every book, I guess, every type of book is a little different. Like I know I have started a hole here, and for some reason, it's being hard. There it goes, right there. Now, the most important thing with this is making sure you pull everything tight, okay? Now, this is not hooked under these clips, and that's why it's wobbling around. But you want to put it here, and once you put it down through the center and hook it, it'll go down the center, hold a portion of your thread or twine, depending on what you do. And now you're going to, let's see, I usually go to the top. I'm not sure which one is the top at this point, so we're just gonna do it. Now, my doily is not hooked down, just like I said, so I'm gonna make it obey here. I should have just forced it to stay in place, right? So I'm just gonna go through it. I think I just went through like one of the little sections of the, yeah, there we go. And now I'm going to go past this string that we have here, okay? And we're going to come down here to the next hole. Stay in your place, doily. Goodness. Okay. Now, I know not to let the doily have the way next time. Okay, we're going to go back down through this other hole. There's people do this binding different. You're going to see, I watched Gail, she did it slightly different. But I've also seen her do it the way I do it. Because, you know, it's just weird. Everybody kind of bounces around, does different things for different books. But mostly, if you're a beginner, this is an easy way to do it. Now, you're going to go back up through that center hole But the thing that's important is you don't want to attach to this string right here that you had from when you came up before. This is not cooperating very well, so I hope we don't hit the string. You'll know it because you won't be able to move. And you'll be able to see it also. So then you take it off, and you can see here that I have way more than I need. The thing you want to do at this point is tighten. Hold it over and look and make sure that it is where it needs to be. And you want to make sure that the string that runs down the middle of the book is in between the two strings that you tie. That's very important. And you double tie at least. With small twine like this, I probably will do 3. Okay, now I usually like to tie, or like to put my strings the same length and then cut them off like that. Okay, now we can take this and this off. You'll see the difference. Now you just, you know, get it flattened out right there, and it's going to fold in, and this is going to fold over, and this is your spine. Not my most beautiful spine. It will, the holes will be a little more obvious because it's so thin, but it's not a big deal. I mean, to have them look like that, not at all. Now, what did I do with my needle? Just, oh, there it is, because it's my favorite. I have a lot of needles, but this one is definitely my favorite needle. And I'm going to move this bookbinding stuff out of the way so we can continue to decorate this. I'm going to move it. Excuse me just a moment. If I don't move it now, I'll be knocking it over during our video. Okay? I keep that sort of thing right behind me, the stuff that I need to grab really quickly. I have almost a whole IKEA shelf right behind where I'm sitting, and I actually have, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 IKEA shelves in this room, and the smallest ones are the 2, and they're on the small walls. That, you know, they have 6 squares, but they're the size of a door. Okay, only a little shorter unless you buy them taller. I like to access the top of my shelf. Okay, now you can also do it like this if you want to fold it that way. But I'm going to decorate it like this. Okay, now because of time, I'm not going to ink this, but I might ink my my mushrooms. Okay, now I had another mushroom here I wanted to use right there. I like using something with yellow. Okay, so we're just going to tear these. I think I'm trying to decide which one I want on the front. That one or that one. This one actually shows a little bit more, I think, and it has more color, so it won't be so bland on the front of our book. Now, I'm just tearing around this just so it's different. Excuse me, guys. In between videos, I just did the decoupage video, and I'm moving on to do another one. I have been coughing, so I'm sorry. So, this is going to go right here. Now, you can put stuff under it. You know, if you want, you could put something under it, like muslin or a doily or, excuse me. I think in this situation, I'm getting in my drawer here, that we're going to do a doily. Now, the reason is because it's just plain, right? So we're going to ink this so that it stands out. You could use sari silk, or you could use cheesecloth. It's a little fancy for mushrooms, wouldn't you say? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So how about, let's see about this. This one's a pretty good color. I like that better. Just a mushroom I had hanging out. So this little guy is going to hang over a little bit. And I don't have a problem with that. And I'm actually going to put this more up in the, well, no, I like it down here. Because I don't think mushrooms would be floating, you know, up in the air. So I'm just going to put a circle here for my doily. And I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to let it hang too much down here. Kind of fix it where it's more to the left than to the right. Now we're going to put this mushroom on here for the front. Now there's other things you can do to decorate this, and I want everyone to kind of think of things they can do to decorate theirs. I'm just doing something really quick because we still have a lot we need to get done. So I think that looks cute, really cute. Now I'm going to flip this open, and we have another pocket right here. So I'm going to tear this one. It's not a pocket, but an area that requires some kind of attention, I guess is what I should say. I feel like it needs another mushroom, and I've got several for this book. Now I know this book, I think, was intended to be a floral book, but it just said 60s and 70s to me. And so I decided mushrooms would be good, and florals would be good. Now I only have the one brown doily, so inside here we can do a white one. Now you don't have to have it right in the middle like I did it on the front. But this time I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to move it up a little, okay? There's lots of ways to position things, and I'm just going to do a circle right here for the doily. And this is a smaller doily, mostly because, you know, we don't have a lot of room inside. Let's ink this. And yeah. All right. The fun thing about journaling is having different places to do it makes it lots of fun, doesn't it? So this little book, I could probably get a couple weeks in this little book. So this journal will last me longer probably than some of them I do. Okay. Usually I can get a month, especially if I've enjoyed quotes or scriptures that month that I want to write. So here is this one. Now I can tell you, see how this doily folded? We probably don't want to let it do that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there to fold it over. It may or may not stay because it's pretty short, but I think it will. Especially if you pay attention to how much glue you put on here and where you locate it. And then you want to get any excess glue off because it'll stick to your other pages. So the reason I decided to use doilies is because I used a couple in the actual book more than I normally would. And I just thought, you know, why not carry it over? And I've decided to go ahead and have the doilies go down on the edges so they don't get all yucky. See, like this one right here needs to go. Can't see if it's actually putting glue down or not. So there we go. Yeah, and this is going to have to dry. You can see it's coming through. I don't normally do them that way, but it's a quick, fast way to do it. And you just let them dry. If you're not going to be like doing anything else with it, especially. So I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to put this underneath so we don't get the glue on my mat. I know it shouldn't make that much difference, but it does. So yeah, there we go. Now we're going to do it right here also. I'm not worrying about the bottom ones that might be hanging off, just the ones that are hanging over and can get bent. Now this one's going to fold into the pocket because we have this nice pocket because of the bag. And yeah, so it's going to go like this. It's going to be here. Here we go. Now see, all that looks better because you've got this one that is over here. And this last little doesn't want to stay down, but we'll work with it if it doesn't. Okay, so we've got this. Now, trying to think what we want to do at the top here. We can, there's lots of options. There's lots of different kinds of flowers I've got over here. But I have these metal that I have had since I started scrapbooking and have not used them since then. But I think I like this on here, right there in the middle. And I'm going to use it on here. This is a giant brad, as you can see. You want to make sure you've covered this because it's heavy compared to just a paper flower, right? So I might keep the other flower for my journal, my big journal. Now, you can go overboard with the ink because you know it needs to be down better. So pay attention to that. Like I have a little bit, see, seeping out right here. So I like to get it right away because it's easier. Just wipe it off, and then you can get the sticky off your fingers with a wipey or a wet paper towel. Okay. There we go. Now, this is the front, and I like that. Now, I'm going to save these to do on our next layout, but this one's going to go right here. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here working on some of this. Okay, so, or as far as it goes on this. So we bound it. We've put a couple decorative things in. You can take, like, for instance, I'm going to fold it, but you can take like a piece of, this is avocado stained. You can take a piece of this and measure here. Or you can fold this so big. Let me see if I want to do it like this. This is a digital print of avocado. And let me tell you, I've had both and I can't tell the difference. Okay. So, I'm going to just I'm trying to decide how I want to put it in here. So let's do it like this. I'm going to put this in the right spot right here, down a little ways. And then I'm going to hold it still, okay, with your fingers. And then, just like this, all three. And then you're going to bend your journal up and kind of bend that paper, okay? So now we have the paper bent so that it will fold and fit exactly like we want it. Now, this part is going to go backwards, okay? So it'll just go like this. Keep it even with both sides. And that way, when you put it in here, you can put it in here as one piece down here. Because, see, we measured and made sure it fit. You could put it right down there in the middle section, or you can leave it up here. I like it down in the middle section. If you were trying to keep something private, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Now, I'm going to tie this with a little bit of string I have here. This is a binding type string too. Or you can use a seam binding, or you can use whatever, you know. I just think because of the mushrooms and stuff, it just looks good with this brown doily to do. If I can get this to tie a bow. Well, that didn't do very good, did it? But you know what I mean. So I had to go back to the hand surgeon, you guys, who was my boss for 17 years. He's fabulous. He told me that arthritis has got the best of me and my hands are eat up with arthritis. I already knew this because, you know, I have pain in them. And anyway, he said, I just drew the bad card. I'm like, thanks, doctor. Anyway, so I'll get this tied in a minute. I'm trying different places. Okay, we're going to do it right there. And we're going to leave that because I pulled that string through too far. But there. This is our little journal. You can do more, way more to this. Setting that aside so we can move on in our actual journal. Okay, a traveler's notebook. You guys can see that I added a flower. I've added a tassel here, and I've added, I mean, this is just like a tassel with in the place. They're little pom balls and little tassels at the bottom. And then I added actual multicolored tassels here. And I did it multicolor because I just thought the front of it looked like a hippie van. Not that I'm a hippie, never was, but my son was. And so I know a little bit about being a hippie. So this is the first page, and I incorporated mushrooms here. And this is wallpaper on the back. And showing you really fast what we've done so far. Nothing fancy, nothing over the top. Here's a side tuck. Kind of using mushrooms in everything. Look how cool this turned out, guys. I may write something on here, kind of like loving the 60s and 70s. Loving the 70s would be more like it for me. Well, it was early 70s, but anyway. And here is another bag like we just decorated, only it's green. And I just decorated both sides. Made a little pocket here with this butterfly vintage card. Put a couple things inside. Here is a policy holder. And so it's got this same tea staining done. And I just made a butterfly tag. And I love the lines on the back because you can journal on that. I love things that are just different to journal on. Love, love it. You know, it's just fun. Now, where did this page come from? I don't know. I had this flowery embossed sack that I've been wanting to use. It has floral and butterflies on it. And so I wanted to use some of my Tim Holtz Wildflowers dies that I had cut. Before you know it, I'm like doing yellow and black and white. And yeah, I used this chalkboard sticker from the kit. I used all my little tassels here, butterfly, all that. And this ticket here came from the kit. The only thing I added was the tag, the paper the tag was made out of, and the bag, and Tim Holtz. Now, I did add this flower and this flower. I made a little marker for the top here that's a heart, and used this coin pocket. And this sticker right here is from the kit too. I don't want to get off on all of that too much. We'll do a flip through later. Now, where do we want to go from here? I'm trying to think. Okay, I hadn't really decided where I was going to put anything, but look at how this turned out. Oh, it's sticking together in the middle. I think it's too late to separate it. It's because I bounced back and forth on things. And, you know, you concentrate on getting things stuck down in the spine, but I did close this book pretty soon after I blew dry it in the last video. So, you know, I'm not shocked that it stuck together, but how cool are these flowers? So cool. So cool, at least to me. And you can journal up here or put quotes. It looks like I forgot to trim the extra napkin off the sides so that it has a clean look. Okay. I'm afraid if we don't get started on the other page, we will never get it done. Okay, so I'll come back and do that. I don't want to run out of time. Okay, whoopsie. So I'm wanting to put this next page in the back here somewhere, because I feel like we've overloaded the front, and, you know, I just think it'll look nice to go somewhere. I want it to be where you've got a full double page. Or right in here would be fine. I think this is what I had planned, right in here. And the reason I had that planned is because, I don't know why, but I'm going to use green and yellow. Now, no real reason. It's just, I have a lot of green and yellow that I've put in the kit. And I've had this bag in the kit. And so I'm going to empty everything out of it because I kind of just gathered things. There's no real big plan here. I just gathered things, and I want to be able to do a flip up with this bag, okay? So we're going to put it where we want it the best we can. I don't want it to... We don't want to glue it down because, you know, that's not going to work. So I'm going to add a paper clip here. I'm going to add a paper clip here to, I forget every now and then to take you out of camera. I'm sorry. You know, you don't think of it when you're sitting here. Right here is where I'm going to put it. I'm going to see if this will hold this bag in place where I want it. It'll help, if nothing else, right? And then we're going to bring this up gently. Whoops, I moved it. The main thing is that you have the same amount that you're folding over from top to bottom, so it's straight. That's why I kind of pushed it down. Okay, so I'm going to go like this and fold it over. And it does change the looks of the page that it's being folded onto. I really crease it with my fingernails or a bone folder. Just like that. And now look, and we want to make sure, yeah, that's close enough. So while it's there, I'm going to get my glue and add it to the back. Okay, here we go. And this way, when you get on the other side, I'll show you what it does. It's really kind of cool. I know some of you know this already because you watched my videos for a while, but some people haven't. So there's a ton of videos. If you're new, you can do like I do when I find someone I really like on YouTube. I will binge watch all their videos. I would say skip 1 and 2. They weren't my best. Okay. So we've got that stuck down pretty good for now. And over here we have our bag where we can open it. Now I'm not forcing it right now because it's still drying. But you'll be able to bring it straight out if you decide to. And it allows you to cover up any journaling you might not want to share with someone looking in your book. Especially if there's someone you're not crazy about. I'm just kidding. Who would let them look in their book, right? I don't let people look in my book if I've written in it. But I don't care. I trust everybody that I know pretty much. Okay, so now what are we going to do? I don't know. I don't really have a plan. I put a little piece of yellow and 3 little pieces of yellow scrapbook paper. Lots of tickets. A very vintage, very, very vintage yellow card. Flashcard. I have had this and I hang on to it till I could use it on something, but look how tall it is. I haven't wanted to fold it, so we'll see what I end up doing. Now, I also have Tim Holtz seed pocket, and I want to put that somewhere. So I'm trying to decide, do I put it on the green? Looks like I got some more stuff in here in this, so that must be going to be a pocket too. I'm going to put, this is going to be here, and this is going to be here, because they're kind of matchy-matchy. That doesn't really matter to me, but it doesn't hurt anything, right? So we've got the bag over here. We could put the seed pocket on the front if we want to, but then it will be moving. So I could put it right here or right here. Then it will be moving. Everything will be moving, but I think it'll be better on this side right here. So use a fine tip to put this down, because you want to be able to put your tags in this kind of like a pocket, and you can put tags or whatever you want to display, cards, anything you think you can fit in here and display. Okay, so I'm going to put it right here in the center. Just line it up, make sure it's straight with your book page. Otherwise, it's going to look crooked. You really want to let this dry before you add too much on here. Now, I'm going to add this little yellow sticker there. I think that will look cute on the bottom. If you buy this die set, you will find that you have the seed pack, but it also gives you a little card to put at the bottom with a title or whatever. I forgot to ink my bag, and I forgot to ink my seed pockets. So, boo-hoo. Okay, so then we have this here. And I don't know if I put anything in here to decorate this bottom portion. I'm sure I did somewhere. So if not, I will dig around and find something to decorate that. Now, I have a mushroom, of course. I also have yellow tickets. I have the yellow flashcard. And I have this little guy right here. I think I'm going to put here. Now, this is the back of the bag. Or you can turn it over where you get a nice finish and fold it back. Which I think that's what I'm going to do. That way, it'll look better to you. Now, I'm going to put a little bead of glue kind of across there a little bit to kind of hold that down. So, you know, it'll look nicer. And I should have inked it so you could see the difference between it and the other stuff it's against. Brown on brown, it's hard to see where it separates, right? Now I'm going to do it up here. Yeah, that's better than it was, okay? So we've got this pocket right here, so we don't want to worry about the back part. We're just going to glue that down. I've got little pieces of my ink pad that's not cooperating. I do want to try to get along the edge here so people don't confuse it for the pocket, or it doesn't confuse me since it's my book, right? It's the only thing I do for myself is pretty much this. But, you know, everyone should go check her out. It's my favorite Traveler's Notebooks. It's through her. I've seen a lot. I've made a lot. I still like hers better. Okay, so right here, we're going to put this mushroom. But we're going to tear the mushroom so it fits better. And hopefully I can get it to tear properly. Now we're going to go around the mushroom and hopefully not totally tear it up. I almost got the mushroom, didn't I? Okay, so now we're going to have a little bit of ink. Definitely want to see the difference. On here. Yeah. Now I'm not going to add anything behind it this time. Just going to go around the edges so it stays down nicely. Otherwise, it'll be turning up on you. Yeah, right at the bottom. Right there. Awesome. I do like these mushrooms. You know, there's some I don't like or care anything about, but I really do like this set. And I think I got them at Tracy Fox Love Junk Journals on Etsy. Okay. Now, we have this tag here that was made to go in this pocket. But you can change that out should you decide to as you go along. But I'm just going to ink the front of it and stick it in here for now. Okay, we'll do other things as we go along. Now, we have this little bag with the cutest little stake that goes into a plant, and you write the name on it. And since this is kind of a flowers and plants and springtime book, spring/summer, I guess we could say, I'm going to use this. Now, I decided, look at these little bags. How cute. These little bags were bought separately, she said. So it was just luck that they worked together. And I'm going to put them one right there for now. Now, there'll be other things gathered for this. Soon as I know what they're going to be. Now, I didn't plan anything to go inside. I did plan this to go here. But as you can see, it's going to have to be trimmed down or it's going to have to be folded. And I don't want to do either one. I'm having a hard time with that. Yeah. I think I'll go ahead and cut it, guys. It's not my favorite idea, but I'm trying to get to my trimmer right now. I have so much piled over here. I got a journal going. I got videos going in my buckets. And so it's kind of hard. All right, so I'm going to trim the bottom portion because there's, maybe we'll do it like this. I'll do a little bit off of both. I want to miss the answer got cut off, just so you know, right here. Not really, that really wasn't the answer, but that's interesting. Anyway, so we're gonna, let's see how tall we need it. So we're just gonna cut what we have to off. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and round that corner just like this, so it still feels like it's supposed to feel, right? So I'm just using this as a pattern right here, and I'm going to take my scissors and just go around it. There we go. You would never know, right? You would if you knew. You know, I know this is an older tag, or not a tag, an older flashcard. I am going to ink it a little bit just so it stands out because it's so light. It's not as bright as some of our tags, and I'm using this as a tag, and so I think it'll look cute. Now I kind of creased it a little bit. And so we're going to go over here and we're going to put it, I'm trying to decide, well, it's not much difference on either side. So I'm just going to put it in here. But first, I'm going to try to ink this as much as I can. Now, mind you, there's going to be, it's messy inking. I don't try to do it perfect in my journal. It doesn't bother me. I like messy. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about this over here for now. Okay, here we go. We're going to put that in there as one of our tags. Okay, so then we're going to carry the rest of this khaki color over here. And I think that this was really supposed to be this ticket or this. So we will see. I'm going to put it on there like a little tiny pocket. And we could put little tiny tags in there. How does that sound? This was a dyed index card that got cut in half. I cut it in half to be a pocket. Now, I'm going to put this right here, more toward the top, so it's not like right in the middle of things, right? Oops, there we go. Just want to make sure it's straight. I think most of you know that. So, I could add this here, but I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to use these little tags. I'm going to ink them. Now, they're small enough that they can fall down inside this little pocket, but I just think they're cute. And I think I have a yellow one too. What did I do with it? Maybe I didn't have a yellow one. No, I have yellow tickets. And yeah, I like them ran together like this. And so I'm going to put them over here with this little green guy. And looking to see what else we can put in here. I also have some green tickets, but I'm kind of thinking I want these over here. Okay, let me kind of all right. I'm just going to slide those down in here. Now, we've also got this little circle punch that I punched out to go. Oh no, I think it was this was a freebie with my order. And I'm just going around it. It can actually have a small quote or something on it, and I'm going to put it here. Okay, now we definitely want to have some kind of tag. So I'm thinking maybe I'll cut a tag out of this. Give me a second. I'm just going to cut the raw edge because it's kind of frayed. And then I'm going to make this like a 2 1/4 inch tag. That way it will, we'll just round the corners. I kind of like to round the corners in my journal. Sometimes I'll do a regular, you know, just a regular one, but sometimes I don't. Now, this does have no journaling space on the other side, so I think I'm going to add some solid paper on the back. That way, I'm going to move this over because you don't want it to be, here's some yellow paper. How about we do that? You don't want it to be all like it is, because then it won't allow you to write on the back. So I'm going to cover it with yellow, since that's kind of how we're going here, yellow and green. So this is the only piece of scrap I had that had a little bit of green in it. I just grabbed several pieces. I really didn't give it a lot of thought. So I'm going to do like this. I think it will fit right here perfect. It will. Now, I'm letting this dry a minute, okay? And then we'll trim it. I think I'll go ahead because I might get busy and forget about it. So we'll just need to be careful with it because it is wet. All right, and then you just trim around. You could sew on your sewing machine if you want, and I might do that, but I'll do it off camera. I don't always sew on these because I really try to whiz through them all so you guys can have a lot of ideas. Now I'm going to ink this. I'm making sure that it's down on all 4 sides. As I go, I'm just kind of, you know. And see, now you can journal on the back. Plus, we can get the hole poked here for, where'd it go? Right here. I always turn this the wrong way. Okay, so let me get it centered. And I'm always too low with it. I'm not kidding you. I always put it way too low. So now we're going to move on. We'll put some twine and stuff in here later. Now see, it wants to hook on all these other pockets, and that's not a problem. Just try to keep it from the edges so you can, you know. I feel like this needs more than that tag for some reason. What do we suggest? This needs something too, doesn't it? How about this doily on here? I like that. Kind of mixes the brown, the green, and the yellow all together. Now, we could add, I'm kind of hitting these other little areas up here too. We could add another mushroom on here. I think that's what I'll do because we don't have any on this side, right? So I'm going to put it right here because mushrooms don't float in the air. Now, I thought I had mushrooms out here. Let's see where they're at. Over here, kind of stuck underneath. All right, so I have like a yellowish one here. So let's kind of get one that has some yellow in it. And we'll tear around it. There's so many different kinds of mushrooms. It's amazing. My son actually raises mushrooms. Talk about cool. Definitely. They love mushrooms. And so my son has some lab experience. And so, you know, you have to do it. You have to be real careful. I mean, it's a very finicky thing. But he has even made up some kits that people can raise them at home enough, you know, to cook them ever so often. And you just follow the instructions on the kit, and yeah, it's awesome. And all the local restaurants, he can't hardly keep them all full of mushrooms because they all love them. So it's some of the nice restaurants is who he sells to. You know, the ones that a lot of young people like, you know, us old folks don't even know they're out there. But you know what I mean. Okay. So here is our second set of mushrooms. Okay. All right. So we're going to do it right here. All right. Let me see how much time we've got. Why does the time just disappear, you guys? I feel like we never have enough time. I will show you what I'm going to do. I am going to add a couple more tags. Here's a little piece of yellow. I'm going to make a tag here to put in with this one. And it's going to be the exact same tag as what you see here, only longer. And then I'll put some of the yellow on the back like I did on the other ones. And the only thing you've missed, or you will miss, is me making a tag like the one you just saw. Now, I said I wanted to put that flower and clip on this page. And I do. So, also, we have to have something inside this pocket. We know our journal won't fit because it's the same size, right? So we can't put that there. So I'm thinking a mushroom card to journal on. This journal is going to have a lot of spaces to journal. It's just, you know, I love all the reason I use a lot and decorate my pages full is because those empty pages, oh my goodness, I could put 3 different ones on there just about. Okay, now I'm going to slip that one inside there because I always know to look inside of the bags. You could punch right here and get a little circle if you wanted, but that's really not necessary. Now we've got this little guy, which I think I'm going to put right up here above that card. And I think I want to put this flower on here somewhere, but where? Maybe here? Or maybe here? No, that's not going to work. So I think the best place, it looks random up there and it looks random up here, doesn't it? or does it? I like the design. I think I'm going to put it there, and we're just going to use plenty of our fabric tack on here, but not, you know, where it's going to run out everywhere. If you can keep from doing that. It's hard because this has a brad on the back, so it's kind of heavy. But I'm going to move it over to this top portion here. Put it over in this corner. I'm going to hold it for a second. Sorry, I had to turn the fan on. I was getting hot. So, excuse me. This is the end of this page. And I hope you guys had fun doing, you know, the whole decorating thing on this page. I think it turned out cute, don't you? And we'll add fibers. Let me get the fibers. I think we're out of time though, and I don't want to upset anybody by running over my time. But I'm going to put probably some green, if I can find some green in here. There's some green. Here's some green. I don't have any yellow in here. Whoop, maybe a tiny bit of yellow for something. Here's another piece of green. Now, we're going to add some of this eyelash trim because why not, right? And here is some white. All right, so those will go on all the tags, and we will be ready to finish this page. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you've enjoyed the process of this book. I'm not sure if I will have another video on this, maybe one more to do like some finishing touches. So hope you've enjoyed the process of this, and I hope you'll visit Lynette's YouTube channel. She's adorable. She's fun to watch. She's got tons of people that watch her. She's fabulous and super sweet, and you'll find that out real fast. And she does all kinds of fun things on there, you know, mixed media. She started doing that, and that's fun to watch. And so she's actually the person, I've told you this in the beginning, that inspired me to make junk journals, and I've been doing it ever since. And I've been watching her for over 5 or 6 years. So yeah, it's fun. All right, guys, see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We'd love to have you. Bye now.